Martin sir, we are good to go. Ma'am, Principal ma'am, we are good to go.
Thank you, Abhinaya ma'am. Martin sir,
Yes, ma'am.
shall we start? Are all the students ready, sir?
Yes, ma'am. We are ready, ma'am. Yes.
Ma'am, shall we start the session, ma'am? Or
Yes.
Mahima, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, can start.
Hari Om, and good evening and a warm welcome to the second day of our faculty development program. It's a pleasure to see all of you here as we continue our exploration of important topics that contribute to the growth and excellence of higher education. On this second day, our focus turns towards a subject of great significance in the realm of higher education, the National Institutional Ranking Framework, commonly known as NIRF. NIRF has become a pivotal tool for assessing and benchmarking the performance of higher education institutions across the country. Today, we have the opportunity to delve into the intricacies of NIRF, understanding its parameters, methodologies, and implications for excellence in higher education. Our distinguished speaker for today's session is Dr. R. Srikanth, the Principal, Mar Gregorius College of Arts and Science, Chennai, an expert in the field of higher education rankings and assessment. Dr. R. Srikanth brings a wealth of knowledge and experience that will undoubtedly enrich our understanding of NIRF and its implication for our academic journey. We encourage all of you to actively participate, ask questions, and share your insights during today's session. Let's make the most of this opportunity to gain valuable knowledge and collectively contribute to the growth and success of our institution. Thank you, and let's have a productive day ahead. Now I invite Mr. Loganathan from first year to introduce our speaker, Dr. R. Srikanth.
Loganathan?
Hariom to all. Loganathan, bank management student. It's a great pleasure to welcome our participants, our eminent speaker, Dr. Ross Srikanth, for today's FDP. Dr. Ross Srikanth is currently the principal of Mar Gregorius College of Arts and Sciences, Chennai, former dean of Institute of Commerce and Management in some couple of private universities. Prior to this, he held many distinguished positions such as principal of Kiran Arts and Science College, Kangayam, dean academic administration at DJ Vaishnava College, Chennai, Head School of Management in Hindustan University, Chennai, etc. He has 2.5 decades of experience spanning industries and academia. A graduate of the Loyola College in Chennai, he received his MBA degree from the University of Madras. His MPhil in management is from Malagappa University, Karaikudi, and he received his doctorate in management science from JNTU, Hyderabad. His research has been on knowledge management, and his interests include HR excellence and international marketing, among others. Dr. Ross Srikanth began his career in NBFC sector and was associated with Sundaram Finance Limited for about 3 years. Then he subsequently moved into academics and has worked with some of the best institutions, including SRM University, where he was the coordinator of international relations. Yes, he is a recipient of Shiksha Ratan Puraskar Award from Indian International Friendship Society, New Delhi, and the Glory of Indian Gold Medal from the Institute of International Success Awareness, New Delhi, in August 2013. He received the Best Departmental Head Award from the Society of Educational and Entrepreneurship Development in September 2017, when he was heading the School of Management in Hindustan University, Chennai. He has been the resource person in quite a few AICTE, UGC sponsored, and FDPs relating to NAT. He has published quite a few papers in national and international conferences. His publication includes Scopus Index, ABDC listed, and UGC journals, among others. He has 2 books after publication and published 2 books as primary author and published 2 books as sole author. Once again, I welcome you, sir. I will hand over this session to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the nice introduction, Mr. Raghunathan. First and foremost, I thank the principal, management, HOD and faculty members of the bank management of Avicii College for giving me an opportunity to talk to you, I should say. I also thank my good friend, Dr. Augustine, who facilitated this. Thank you so much. Now, let me get into the business straight away. Let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Sir. Yes, sir, it's visible.
Right. So for the purpose of clarity and the requirement of bandwidth, I'll just keep my video off. And at the last, let me switch on the video. So now straight away, we'll go into the topic. NIRF definitely is of interest to everybody. And we would be making an application to NIRF for getting our institutes ranked. So we will get to understand what are the parameters, what are the intricacies and nuances, what are the areas we need to concentrate. And yeah, so this would be the following agenda. So yesterday you would have heard about NAC. So that was called as accreditation. Today it is being called as ranking. So first I wanted to have this, what is accreditation and what is ranking. Then the timelines of NIRF, importance, categories, parameters with an in-depth insight into the different parameters and how to improve the NIRF ranking. And of course, the conclusion or the final notes. So with this, we make an entry into the NIRF. So accreditation versus ranking. So all of us know there are two formats, NAC and NBA as part of the accreditation and NIRF as part of the ranking. So accreditation is a comprehensive assessment. So normally, as all of us know, it is a 5-year term, whereas ranking is an yearly affair. Accreditation would be like an absolute grade, while ranking is a relative grade. So what is an absolute grade and a relative grade is like what you have a percentage and a percentile. So if you have the percentage, then that becomes the absolute grade. The percentile, that is in relation to others, where do you stand? So that is what is called as the relative aspect. And of course, it is one of the importance for the stakeholders. And there will be a question, since there is already an accreditation, should there be a ranking too? Well, to answer yes or no, instead of that, I would say accreditation is an one-time event, that is 5-year aspect. Whereas accreditation institutions in those 5 years may slip in their yearly performance. So stakeholders are interested in knowing whether the institution is doing better or worse at the end of every year. So ranking is like an annual report card to the nation as well as to the stakeholders on what has been done by the institution in the past 1 year on the given performance scales. So as all of us know, still there are many institutions which need to be accredited as well as which need to be participating in the ranking. So this is basic thing, that is we need to be participating in both accreditation as well as ranking. Next, when you talk about accreditation versus ranking, maybe the next question that may arise is, because I have heard from quite a few places, so that's what I'm sharing. So it says that there is a contradiction. An institution which has been accredited A++ is not figuring in top 100 in the NIRF. So can an institution on the contrary, which has got a bad accreditation, or rather, I should say low, I should not use the word bad, I'm sorry, a low accreditation grade can get a good rank or vice versa? Definitely the answer is possible. So why means the institutions, as I told you earlier, after getting the accreditation can slip, or the institutions can do better after they get their accreditation. So ranking is a reflection of the yearly performance. So I hope it is clear so far in terms of accreditation versus ranking. So we'll go into the next. So NIRF started in 2016 with just the universities, engineering, management, and pharmacy. And now it is about a dozen aspects that has been included. So year on year, they have also been expanding, and they have also been opening up the ranking aspects for other institutions to participate. So 2021, you see that there is a terminology being used, research institutions. So what is a research institution? Research institution, as per the NIRF, is 500 publications in a year. Those 500 publications should be either in Web of Science or Scopus. Or it says 1,000 PhD scholars enrolled in that institution. Then that would be categorized as a research institution. I hope it is clear. A very simple aspect given by NIRF. 500 publications in Web of Science or Scopus indexed, or 1,000 PhD scholars enrolled. So that will be categorized as a research institution. Of course, in today's context, you have different categories in which one can apply, and one can see the ranks that will be differing in different aspects. So importance of NIRF rankings. Why NIRF? If somebody asks the question, so it helps in informed decision making. By informed decision making, I say the informed decision making is for whom? Primarily, it is for students as well as parents. So for what purpose? To choose the right institution. So whenever people make a critical decision as to put their ward into an institution, so they will be taking this parameter into account in terms of the NIRF ranking, and they will be deciding which institution my daughter or son should be studying in. So NIRF ranking, I should say, NIRF rankings, I should say, provide comprehensive insight into an institution's one, overall performance, two, academic excellence, three, faculty quality, four, infrastructure, and five, research output. Then the point number two is benchmark for excellence. So NIRF rankings establish a benchmark for excellence within the education sector. That is, they recognize as well as highlight institutions that excel in various parameters so that it inspires healthy competition among institutions. And this competition encourages continuous improvement and drives institutions to strive for excellence in academics, research, as well as overall institution development. Point number three is enhancing institutional quality. So enhancing institutional qualities, as we have been understanding and aware, that there are various parameters such as teaching methodologies, research output, infrastructure development, industry collaborations. So this focus on enhancement on each of these contributes to the overall improvement of the quality of the education imparted by those institutions. The next point is transparency and accountability. So we need to be uploading the certain documents pertaining to the institution on our website, which is for the public to see. So that is what we mean here by transparency. So NIRF framework promotes transparency, and even in NIRF web page, you can open and you can see on what aspects the institutions had been ranked and where the institutions have scored. So in that aspect also, the transparency is being fostered. So this transparency fosters, I should say, accountability also among the institutions, so that the quality of education they offer is enhanced. And the next point that is given here is global recognition and collaboration. So definitely, this is on par with the global aspects in today's context. Every one of us are living in a global village. So high rankings in the NIRF framework will definitely enhance an institution's global visibility and reputation. So what is the advantage? The advantage is the global visibility and reputation, or the recognition the institution gets, can attract collaborations, partnerships, and opportunities with international institutions with a more diverse and enriched academic environment. And the next point is policy formation. So NIRF rankings aid policymakers as well as the authorities in formulating strategic plans and policies for the education sector. So these rankings provide insights into, normally we call the strength and weakness of institutions, so that the policymakers can identify areas that require improvement. So these are the why NIRF rankings. Now we go into the categories. As I told you, there are more than a dozen categories in today's context. So first, the category or the discipline as that is called overall. So top 100 are being ranked. Universities top 100 are being ranked, and engineering also top 100 are being ranked, including management. Whereas if you take architecture, which is recently included, only top 30 ranks are being given. Dental, only top 40 ranks are being given, and law, only top 30 ranks are being given. If you see in the first three, overall, universities, engineering, as well as management, there is something called as a ranked band. So 101 to 150 and the 151 to 200, it goes on. Whereas in management, it is only 101 to 125 that is given. So we need to understand that these institutes are also having a potential amongst the other institutions. So that is why the band is also being given. But one should understand institutions listed in the rank band are listed in alphabetical order. So after top 100, if my institute name is figuring in the first, it should not be assumed that I have got 101st rank. So within the band, it is only institutions are listed in alphabetical order. That understanding should be there. So the categories continued. Pharmacy top 100 are being ranked, and medical only top 50. Colleges top 100, and you have the band 101 to 150 as well as 151 to 200. Research institutions, as I told you, the definition of research institution as per NIRF, I already shared with you. Agriculture and allied sectors only top 40, and innovation now, sorry, that is hitherto it was ARWIA. So IRA ranking, now it has been brought into NIRF. So NIRF innovation, the top 10 are being ranked. So as far as the categories are concerned, these are the different categories. I will restrict my presentation and the focus towards colleges, because I believe that many of us are belonging to this category. So with regard to the colleges, what is to be done? What are the parameters and other related aspects? So the parameters, there are only 5 parameters: teaching, learning and resources, research and professional practice, graduation outcome, outreach and inclusivity, and perception. So we will be discussing one by one. We will have an insight into each of these parameters. And as I told you, I have taken only for colleges. It doesn't mean that others are not important, because I was given to understand that it is mainly focused for the colleges. So as arts and science colleges, we'll be applying for this ranking category. So if you see, the weightage slightly varies with regard to the 5 parameters. So for each parameter, it is 100 marks. So the total marks is for 500. OV is overall. UNV stands for University, Engineering, Management, Pharmacy, College, Medical, Law. So you can make it out. So what it is, Architecture and Dental. If you see, the college teaching learning resource gains a weightage of 40%, and graduation outcome is 25. So if one concentrates on these two, 65% of the marks people can secure. The research is, I'm talking about the college category. So research and professional practice is 15%, outreach and inclusivity is 20%, and perception is 10%. So if you see perception, almost it is uniform, it is 10%. And if you see outreach and inclusivity is also almost uniform, which is carrying a weightage of 20% across the different categories or disciplines. So the variation is only in the first 3, whereas the last 2, almost it is equal. If you take this law and the college, more or less it is the same. With engineering, it is 30-30, then 20-20, and 10. So it works out to like that. So different categories, the weightages differ slightly. So let us have a small understanding. So parameter, teaching learning maximum marks, weightage. So if an institution obtains marks like this out of 100, so 60, 50, 70, 90, and 80. So the score is computed like this. So marks obtained into weightage. So 60 into 0.4 will be 24. So like that it goes. And when you compute the scores, the overall will be weighted score is 66. So this is the basic scoring pattern in NIRF. So where do we need to score more, or where is the aspect that we'll be able to score more, and where we need to score more also one should understand. Where we need to score more, naturally, where the weightage is more. So we should have more score in that. So teaching learning resource, we should have above 90%. Then only, because it accounts for 40% at the college level, college category. So if we have 90 marks, then definitely our overall score will also be increasing. So we should be very smart in calculating that. So where the weightage is more, our score also should be more. I hope this is clear. So we move on to the next. One by one, we will explore. The first parameter, teaching, learning, and resources. So as I told you, 40%. So how it is done? So student strength, 20 marks. FSR, that is faculty student ratio, teacher student ratio, otherwise popularly known as 30 marks. For faculty qualification and experience, it is 20 marks. And financial resources and utilization is 30 marks. So all put together, you will have 100 marks. And the weightage is 40%. I hope you understand. So marks is 100, weightage is 40%. So we will see one by one how we can, what are the different aspects that are required and where we need to focus. For example, the first parameter under teaching learning resources, the student strength. So this is the equation that is being used. F of NT, NE into 20. So this becomes a relative metric. I told you absolute metric as well as relative metric. So F Whenever the f comes function of, then we can say blindly that it is a relative metric. So what is NT? What is NE? NT is sanctioned approved intake in the institution with all UG and PG programs of the institution. NE is number of students enrolled. So the total versus enrolled. Total number we have got, and how many students have enrolled in that program of the institution. And the data to be provided in a prescribed format. So function of NT, NE into 20. If you have, for example, sanctioned approved intake for all the programs is 900. You have 900 out of 900. So your approved intake is 900. Your enrollment is also 900. Definitely you are going to get full marks. Again, that is a relative in comparison with the other. So as far as this is concerned, this is with regard to the college category. For engineering category, it will be slightly differing. So it will be a function of the same NT, then NE, function of NT and NE into 15 plus it will be function of NP into 5. This is for the engineering category. So what does NP stand for? NP stands for the PhD enrollment. NP stands for PhD enrollment, for which the 5 marks weightage is given out of 20. So 15 marks is for the other students, 5 marks is for PhD. So this is a slight variation. So I just wanted to touch upon this. So I'll be only, as I told you, will be restricting only to the college programs. But I just want you to understand that the calculation slightly differs with regard to the categories being chosen. So I hope it is clear to you. So this is the normal things that we should be looking for, that we are able to have our plate full. If we are having the provision for 1,000 students or whatever, then we should be having 1,000 students enrolled into our institution. So this is the basic thing that one should be concentrating, and the admission season has already started. So we should be focusing our attention on the admission aspects right now to fulfill the basic aspects to get 20 marks. Next, yes, faculty student ratio. So FSR is given by the formula 30 into 20 into F by N. So where the N is the NT in the previous aspect. So F is the full-time regular faculty in the institution in the previous year. So regular appointment, so means faculty on full-time basis. So the question will be asked, can ad hoc faculty or contract faculty can also be shown? NIRF very clearly says, yes, it will be considered if the concerned faculty has taught in both the semesters of the academic year. That is all. A very simple explanation given. So there is no question of any ambiguity or doubt or anything. So even if the faculty is not, you have not given a full-time appointment, but the faculty is on roles on a contract basis or on an ad hoc basis, also can be taken as a or counted as a full-time faculty. So I want all of you to understand this and note this, so that no guessing and no risk taking, all these things can be avoided. That's a very, very simple thing. Then the next question arises is, what is the expected ratio? Expected ratio is 1:20 to score maximum marks. So 1:20. That is, for every 20 students, you should have one faculty. Then the last one, it says for F by N, which is less than 1:70, FSR will be set to 0. That is, for 70 students, one faculty and less, or that is 75 students, 80 students, one faculty. If such is the ratio the institution has, then the marks will be 0. I hope you are able to understand. So you need to take into account the academic year. So FSR will be set to 0. So you need to be very, very careful. So what is your teacher faculty ratio? For how many students? One faculty. So total students and total faculty. So you need to be very, 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 very careful on this. It's a very simple thing, but it will cause a severe damage as more number of students and less faculty. So please have this in mind. So let me just show you a small example. So there is an institute. FSR is for every 20 students, one faculty is there. Marks would be 30. So you get your full marks. You see on the top, it is 30 marks. So 1:20, if faculty student ratio is there, you get your 30 marks. On the other hand, if it is for 1:30, if the ratio is 1:30, that is, for every 30 students, you have one faculty, then the marks would be 20. And for every 40 students, you have one faculty, the score is only 15. And the last one, that is the 1:70, it will be 8.57 only. You get that score. So sometimes it will be negligible and they will not include. So for 30 marks, how many marks you want? It is very, very simple. It is in your hands. So I told you, teaching, learning, blitz, 40% weightage out of the 500 marks. So these are simple aspects where we can score higher. We need not be doing anything great. Only thing, we need to be recruiting faculty members and having this in mind, 1:20 or 1:30. If you are not scoring 30 out of 30, then you need to just calculate and find out, are we having the potential to score in other parameters? For example, research. Are we having the potential to score in research? But what is the weightage for research? That also needs to be taken into consideration. As I told you at the front, more weightage, we should be saying that we score higher, so that our ability to score overall rank is made much simpler and much easier. So this has to be discussed with the college management. Of course, I understand it is not in your hands or my hands. We need to discuss and we need to make them understand that this is where we'll be slipping. We will be where we have the potential to score easily. We will not be able to score. So this has to be discussed with the college management, and accordingly, the number of faculty has to be increased in the institution. Then normally the other question that is asked here is, this is for an academic year. Okay, academic year means normally it is counted as 1st June to 31st May. Normally the academic year is taken as 1st June to 31st May. Then the next question comes, sir, we will be having recruitment throughout the year, sir. So when we will be able to finalize the number of faculty, when we can take the number of faculty. So if it is before 31st of August, on or before 31st of August, all the faculty who have been there in the roles of the organization, in the institution, will be counted as full-time faculty. I hope it is clear. Very, very simple. On or before 31st of August, enrollments, that is the appointments, should be completed. Okay, next question comes. So what happens if somebody joins after August? So what happens if somebody joins in December? Again, the answer is very simple. People who join up to 31st of December. People who join up to 31st of December. 0.5 weightage to be given. So people who join up to 31st of December, 0.5 weightage to be given. Then the next question comes, sir, what do you mean by 0.5 weightage? Let us take an example. So there are 250 faculty in an institution, out of which 20 faculty have joined somewhere between September to December. September to December, 20 faculty have joined before 31st of December, that is after August 31st, that is 1st September to 31st of December. I hope it is clear. Okay. So out of 250 faculty, 20 faculty have joined between September and December. So what you need to do is you need to give 0.5. So 20 into 0.5. So 20 into 0.5 is 10. So your overall faculty count will not be 250. So 20 faculty have joined. So it will be 230. 230 plus this is taken as 10. So it will be 240 faculty that you have. Is it clear? That is what the 31st December, before 31st of December means 0.5 weightage to be given. Out of 250 faculty, you have 20 faculty who have joined between September to December. So that means 0.5. So that will be 10 faculty. So 250 minus 20 will be 230 plus 10. So overall full-time faculty will be taken as 240 faculty members. And this is an absolute metric. So very simple, very clear. So it is not function. There is no f of. So it is a very simple thing. So it is an absolute metric. Again, we need to be discussing with the college management. We need to make them understand, and then we need to be taking into account. So deadline is 31st of August for full-time basis. 31st of August, you can calculate whoever joins as full-time faculty. And then between September to December, it will be 0.5 weightage. Beyond that, it will not be considered. As simple as that. If somebody asks the question beyond that, what happens? We cannot consider that. Okay, this is with regard to faculty-student ratio. Next, combined metric for faculty with PhD as well as for experience. This is the calculation that is given. So faculty qualification and faculty experience. So faculty qualification, faculty experience. So 10 into FRA by 75, where FRA is less than or equal to 75%, or FQ will be 10 if FRA is greater than 75%. So FRA is the percentage of faculty with PhD. So this gives an indication that the faculty with PhD in an organization, it is enough if 75% of the faculty are there. We need not be looking towards to have 100% faculty with PhD. If so, this is the main thing. So an organization that is in college should be having 75% of its faculty with PhD. That means you get your full 10 marks. So that is what this means. So greater than 75 also you get 10 marks. So even with 75 also you'll be getting 10 marks. So why the college should be spending heavily on PhD holders? That is what normally certain managements will think. Only exceptional categories are there, which they don't mind. But many of the managements will think why I should be having and spending heavily. So it is enough that 75% of the faculty are PhD holders. So next, faculty experience. Faculty experience, that is what faculty experience, that is what you see here. So this is the calculation formula. 3 into minimum of 3F1, 1 plus 3 into minimum of 3F2, 1. So what is F1? What is F2? What is F3 is given here. 8 years of experience, 15 years of experience, greater than 15 years of experience, totally, not in that organization, totally. So fraction of people with experience up to 8 years is F1, 8 plus to 15 years, it is F2. People who are having experience of more than 15 years is F3. So we will just, if suppose, say 300 faculty are there, 300 faculty are there, 100, 100, 100. You have equal distribution. So 1:1:1. So there is an ideal ratio and you will have the full marks. Hope you are able to understand. Let us just understand it with a simple example. So first is with regard to PhD. So Institute A, percentage of PhD holders, 75% of the faculty are having PhD, then the score is 10. So you get full 10. On the contrary, if another institute has got only 30% of the faculty as PhD holders, then the score would be 4 out of 10. I hope now you understand that anything above 75 also, it will be only 10. So anything less, the score will be getting reduced. Now with regard to faculty experience, we'll understand with an example. So faculty experience, you have, so as I told you, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That is 300 faculty. So each 100. So it will be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So if you take the score, it will be a perfect 10. On the other hand, if an institute has in F1, that is up to 8 years and 8 plus 15 years and above 15 years, 0. So that means all the faculty here, that is 300 faculty are there. So they are 150 is, I am just taking it for easy calculation. 150 is with regard to up to 8, and this is 8 to 15 years of experience. So that's why I put 1/2, 1/2. So if you calculate this, then your marks would be 6. So it makes sense to have faculty in all these 3 categories. So you should have up to, you need to have junior faculty also. You need to have middle as well as you need to have senior faculty also on board your organization. So nobody is to be undermined. Nobody is to be undervalued. Juniors, middle, as well as seniors. Everybody is important. That is why NIRF has given this formula. So 3 into minimum of 3F1, 1, 3 into minimum of 3F2, and 4 into minimum of 3F3, 1. So above 15 years of experience. So ideally, a college should be able to strike a balance between all these 3 categories of experiences. Less than 8 years of experience, 8 to 15 years of experience, and above 15 years of experience. I hope it is clear. So you need to be when it comes to the recruitment, then you need to be planning accordingly. So suppose if you're having only 30% of the faculty as PhD now, so what you should be doing? Further recruitments, you should be concentrating on people with PhD, or at least you should be, I should say that you should be enrolling people who have submitted their thesis. So very soon they will be receiving. So submitted their thesis, then recently maybe awarded PhD, and or at least the notification has been published. So you should plan for recruitments in such a way that you are taking people on board among these categories, either submitted, awarded, or at least a notification has been, so that you are able to take care of this 75%. Then with regard to, again, the same logic works here. So how many people you have on board? Normally it will not be a perfect 1/3. So how many people you have on board with less than 8 years of experience? How many people you have on board with 8 to 15 years of experience? And how many people you have on board with 15 plus years of experience? So you need to have that analysis done. And while recruitments are being made, then you need to focus, and your advertisement also should say that less than 8 years of experience or more than 15 years of experience. Whenever you make an advertisement, either on hard copy or on your website or Faculty Plus or whatever it is, you need to be specifying very clearly what category of people you need. So you should not always be happy only with the junior people. I'm very sorry to say certain managements will focus on that because I can pay less. Experienced people means I need to pay more. But you see, NIRF requires perfect 1:1:1 in all these three categories. So I hope you have understood the combined metric for faculty with PhD as well as faculty with experience. So faculty qualification, faculty experience. So we move on to the next teaching learning resources, financial resources and their utilization. So that is the most important thing. See, the formula is given, again, it is a relative. Whenever you find F, it becomes a relative. FRU, financial resources utilization. 7.5 into F of BC plus 22.5 into F of BO. BC is average annual capital expenditure per student for the past 3 years, because normally NIRF will be entering the data for the 3-year period. Then BO is average annual operational, or what we call it as a recurring expenditure per student for previous 3 years. So, and what are the exclusions? That is very clearly mentioned here. So suppose you make library. Okay, so then you create some lab or workshop. Then you have some innovation center. Then you have some center of excellence. You have a center of excellence. All these will be contributing to capital expenditure. You can also say, if you want to buy equipments, so equipments will also be constituting under capital expenditure. Then what is the operational? See, you need to understand that capital expenditure per student. So you need to be focusing on what is the student who will be utilizing all these things. So capital expenditure is not about you buying a car. That is not to be considered as a capital expenditure, which cannot be shown here. Okay, so what is that the facility, the spending that you have will be utilized by the student. So all of these which I have just written here will be utilized by the student. Then operational or recurring expenditure. So normally you take the salaries. Then you have your what I can say, seminars for the student. So seminar, the college will be spending some amount. Likewise, you conduct some workshops where annually you will be. Then your the basic question comes, electricity. Yes, definitely that comes as part of the recurring expenditure. So any student related activities, student related activities expenditure is being incurred, which is otherwise not in the capital expenditure, will be called as a recurring expenditure. Every semester, every year, you do certain activities, seminars, workshops, conferences, whatever you call it, will all come under part of recurring expenditure. So which adds value to the student. So that is what you need to understand: financial resources and their utilization. So financial resources and their utilization to be very, very carefully handled. So what will constitute, what it will not constitute. Hope it is clear. So these are the different aspects of the first parameter, teaching learning resources. So next, we go into the second parameter, research and professional practice. Again, as I told you, everything has got 100 marks. So research and professional practice was also for 100 marks. So under that, what we have? Under that, we have this combined metric for publications, combined metric for quality of publications. Ranking weight is 0.15. So for the research, for the teaching learning process, what is the weightage I told you? 0.4, 40%. Here it is 15%. The weightage is only 15%. So you need not be much bothered and worried about research. Of course, it is very, very crucial and important for the development of the growth of the organization. But the weightage given is only 15% here. So the overall assessment metric is RP is equal to PU into 70 plus QP into 30. That is 70 marks for PU and 30 marks for QP. So combined metric and the quality of publications. QP is quality of publications. So quality here is NIRF understands only two things: Web of Science, Scopus. That is what the quality of publications as per NIRF. It will not take into account any other publications. It has its own mechanism of understanding. So next, you need to see, this is again for the engineering category. So IPR and footprint of projects and professional practice is taken. So as far as the college only this is concerned. So we'll go one by one. So combined metric for publications, that is which carries 70 marks. Again, it is a relative grade. To see here, the 70 into function of P by FRQ. So P is the weighted number of publications as ascertained from suitable third-party sources. So even if we give, they will take it from third party. FRQ is maximum number of nominal number of faculty members as calculated on the basis of the required FSR. So I told you 1:20 is the ideal. So that is the FRQ. Then the component B is combined metric for quality of publications. 30 into F of CC by P. So total citation count for the past 3 years. So P is as computed for PU. So one needs to understand that just let me tell you one thing on this publications and quality. So publications and quality, when you talk about this, as I told you, it is Web of Science or Scopus. So they will be taking only from this. So combined metric for quality of publications, it is very important that all of us know this, especially in the Indian context. So we need to be having in this. So when you say Scopus, what is that we refer to? Elsewhere. When you say Web of Science, then it is referred as Clarivate Analytics. So Web of Science is referred by Clarivate Analytics and Scopus by Elsevier. So from there, they will be taking, that is, the third party will be doing this job. Even if we give certain things, even if we say that I have published in Scopus, I have published in Web of Science, okay, they'll accept, they'll never reject, but they'll be cross-verifying, and when it is listed there only, they'll be taking, otherwise they'll not be taking. So within that, there are, within the Clarivate Analytics, there are so many things you might have heard. I don't know how many of you are aware. Definitely, considerable amount of people should be aware about these things, because when we claim that we are a faculty, we need to be aware about these things. So that is what Science Citation Index Expanded. That is what is SCI EXP. So SCI Expanded is the Science Citation Index Expanded. Then we have Social Sciences Citation Index. Then we have Arts and Humanities Citation Index. We have CPCI, that is Conference Proceedings Citation Index. Conference Proceedings Citation Index, Social Sciences. We have BKCI, that is book. BK stands for book. BKCI Book Citation Index. And again, Book Citation Index for Social Sciences. So emerging sources of citation index. We have with regard to the current chemical reaction. So there are so many sub-classifications as far as Clarivate Analytics is concerned. So we need to be very, very clear about where our publication is being referenced, where we are being indexed. So we need to take into account all of these. And most importantly, when you take this citation count, we should be working very smartly. Most of us, we do the publications independently, but we should be working as a group, and we should be doing the publications. So 2 authors, 3 authors combined, and we should be doing, whenever we do, we should be able to see that we are having an internal reference being done. So if 2 authors from the same department, earlier 2 authors have published, then you should be referring that book. So you should be citing that book, that journal paper as reference in your research work. So mutual understanding, mutual give and take should be there. So in a department, 5 people are there. 2 people have already published a paper. 2 people are writing a paper. These 2 people should be referencing those 2 colleagues' journal paper. So vice versa, it should work. So in that way, we'll be able to improve the citation index. It's a very, very small thing, but we should be taking enough pains to work as a group, have the mutual understanding, and do it. And multidisciplinary is also possible. So people with computer science and management can also combine and write a paper, and they can cross-reference the papers. They can quote the papers written by the team in their aspect. So in that way, the citation count can be increased. So a concerted effort is very much necessary to increase this CC, citation count. And also one more thing is, for example, the college that I work is Mar Gregorius College of Arts and Science. And when you write in the journals, if I just write MGC or MGCAS, or I write MGC Arts and Science College, or simply I write Mar Gregorius College. Hope you are able to understand different variations of the institution name. So when a third party is doing that, they may not be able to do this search with the different names. So always the institution should take the hold and specify that this is how the reference of the college should be written whenever the journal publication is being made. Always you should have the full name published. Mar Gregorius College of Arts and Science, or XYZ College of Engineering. So the full name. So you should not be saying as XYZCE. So XYZ the College of Engineering. So that full name should be always given in the publications. So I hope you got these small things. So you will be able to focus and increase the publications as well as the quality of publications. Next, the third parameter that we go into is graduation outcomes. So graduation outcomes has got 100 marks. So graduation outcome weightage is 25%. Please understand, teaching learning was 40%, research was 15%. Again, now we have 25%. Here also we should focus our attention so that our scoring can be high. So it is given graduation outcome is equal to GPH into 40 plus GUE into 40 plus GMS into 20. So that is a combined metric for placement and higher studies. Placement and higher studies is what is GPH, and metric for university examinations, that is especially the end semester examinations, that is what is given to you as GUE, and the median salary is given as GMS. So median salary, MS. So you need to just take PH, placement and higher studies, UE, university examinations, MS, median salary. These are the references. Now we'll just take a look one by one. Placement and higher studies. So the formula is given 40 into NP by 100 plus NHS by 100. So NP is the percentage of graduating students. NHS is the percentage of graduating students who have been selected for higher studies. So how many have been placed? How many have been preferring to do higher studies? So this is a very, very simple calculation that each one of us would be able to do and see. So I just have a small example here. So Institute A, so 80% of the students have been placed and 20% of the students have gone for higher studies. Then you get a perfect 40 out of 40. 40 marks. So GPH on the top you are able to see. So 40 marks. So 80% of the students have been placed, 20% have gone for higher studies. You need to have backup documents, okay? So just not state that. You need to have the backup documents clearly specifying. That is the ideal scenario that I'm talking. But always ideal scenario is not going to be possible. So I say the next thing is the B, Institute B, where 60% placement and 10% higher studies, and the rest of the 30% we don't know. So we may not have the data, we may not have the contact. So in case if that is the scenario, then if you see the score is only 28 out of 40. So I hope you are able to understand that combined metric for placement and higher studies. So this is placement, this is higher studies. P for placement, HS for higher studies. So that is how it is being calculated. So we need to be following up. Placement, again, when you talk about placement, is not only the institution providing the placement, but the student, if he or she gets placement on his or her own also, they can take into account. So that will be the another question that will be asked. Sir, is it only through the placement of the college? Not necessarily. At the end of the day, a person graduating from the college, he or she has been placed or not. That is the question. Irrespective of college facilitates or he or she on his or her own aspect gets the placement. So we should be having and we should be tracking and we should be having the sufficient data for this. I hope you are able to understand. Next is the examinations. So what is that examinations? Very, very simple. So 40 into minimum of NG divided by 80, 1. So NG is the percentage of students graduated. So as a fraction of the approved intake, always this should be kept in mind. So now you are able to see the score of 80. That means if 80% of the students in an institution, that is the final year students, are able to graduate, it is sufficient. We need not even be focusing on 100%. So NG is the percentage of students graduated. So let us take an example. So Institute A, pass percentage is greater than or equal to 80%. So the marks would be 40 into minimum of 80 by 80, comma 1. So 80 by 80 is also 1, comma 1. So minimum of 1, comma 1 is 1. So 1 into 40 is 40. So 80% pass percentage is there. It is sufficient. On the contrary, Institute B, we have 50% pass percentage. Then you see the score is 25. So this is a very, very easy and simplest calculation. So we need not be wasting time and energy on achieving 100% pass percentage. Of course, that is very much necessary for any institute. We would be most happy that all the enrolled students at least pass out and leave the portals of the college. But I'm just talking from NIRF perspective. Please don't mistake me, because my focus and attention in today's presentation is with regard to NIRF. So what NIRF requires only I'm saying. So please don't mistake. I'm not saying 100% pass percentage is not required. So please understand me correctly. I'm only referencing with context to NIRF requirements. And as per NIRF requirements, 80% pass percentage is sufficient for an institution. So we need to be focusing on this. And of course, all of us will be having either we'll be calling it as CIA or continuous internal assessment or continuous internal exam. So we may have 2 exams or 3 exams. Some institutes have the practice of taking best 2 out of 3. And some people have average of all the 3. So whatever methodology you follow, please follow and please have some allowance in the sense that the continuous internal assessment is in the hands of the college. So for some genuine reason, the student is not able to appear for one of the continuous internal exams, please give him or her another opportunity to appear and score. Not any free marks, not to average it out or not to exclude, not to put 0 also. So that will be helpful for the individual as well as for the college, for genuine reasons only, not for everybody. For genuine reasons, the student is absent and not able to take up the continuous internal. It is of course within the college rules and regulations to formulate a policy for that and have that executed. So if you take this examinations result very seriously, then we'll be able to see that 80% pass percentage itself, we'll be able to have a full 40 marks for this metric for university examination. Next one is median salary. So of course, that is not in our hands. Median salary, because you see that is again a relative metric. F comes. F of MS. MS is median salary of graduates. So 20 into F of MS. So median salary, I am sure that all of us understand what is median salary. It is not the average salary. So median salary, if say suppose 10 people have got placement, you need to arrange in the salary in the order of decreasing. So highest, and you have it. Then you calculate the middle, that will be the median salary. If you average it out, then it will not be possible to arrive at the proper figure. So median salary. Again, when you reference for the median salary, you need to be very careful. Some of the institutes I have heard and I have seen, they cook up the placement. So they cook up the placement and they say that if only 20 students have been placed, they will say that 40 students have been placed. And just out of the fear that they are cooking up, then they will keep the salary low. So they will say that they are receiving only 2 lakhs or 1.5 lakhs or 1.2 lakhs. So if you tend to do that, your median salary will go down. I hope you understand. So suppose you have 1, 2, 3, so on. You have 10 students. Then you have, say, 1 lakh per month. So 12 lakhs, you have 10 lakhs, and it goes down. And as I told you, that it is 1.5 lakhs, and somewhere in the middle, you have 4.5, 3.2. So if suppose this is the 5 and the 6, so then you need to be taking an average of this to calculate your median salary. Suppose you further reduce and you further go and you say it is 1.2 lakhs, 1.2, 1.5, then your median salary will be going down. I hope you understand. So you need to be very, very careful in calculating the median salary and not to cook up the data, which will again be a detrimental factor for you if you try to cook up the data. Okay, next we go into the fourth parameter, outreach and inclusivity. So outreach and inclusivity, again, weightage is only 10%. So overall assessment metric is RD into 30, WD into 30, ESCS into 20 plus PCS into 20. Okay, what is this RD? RD is the region diversity, WD is women diversity, ESCS is economically and socially challenged students, and PCS is physically challenged students. So this is not anything very great. We will just see one by one quickly. So region diversity, this is where many of the institutes lack. So they are not able to score because how many people from other states and how many students, no, sorry, not people, how many students from other states and how many students from other countries have enrolled. So you have this, so 25 marks for other states and 5 marks for other countries. So totally makes it 30 marks. We should be making somehow concerted efforts to see that we have students from other states and other countries. One of the things here is we can take the what we call it as the domicile of the students for calculation of other states. So we can take that into account to show that other state students are studying. So we should be able to promote the institution to attract students from other states and other countries. That is a basic idea, and the weightage of 30 marks is given. But by my experience, barring few institutions, many of the institutions do not score well in this. So if you see, for every 10 students, 1 student is from other state. So Institute A, I've just given an example. And for every 100 student, 1 student is from another country. So 1 by 10 and 1 by 100, you still score only 2.55. If the scenario is every 100 students, 1 student is from other state, and for every 200 student, 1 student is from other country, score is almost negligible. So that is the scenario, and many institutes suffer on this, but that is how NIRF ranks. Next is the women diversity. Women diversity is in terms of 2 aspects, students and faculty. So how many women students and how many women faculty you have. So the expectation is very, very clearly defined by the NIRF. 50% of the students should be girl students. 20% of the faculty should be women faculty. So this is a very simple, straightforward. I hope I need not explain anything further on this. So just a small example I'll give you. So Institute A, 50% as specified here as per the expectation. That is the ideal. I have put 50% and 20%, then you get your full quota of 30 marks. On the contrary, 30% are only girl students and 25% of the an increased amount of faculty or women faculty, then you have a score of 27.75 out of 30 marks. So this is a very simple calculation. So we should be seeing, again, when we do the recruitments, we need to be having a tab on how many women faculty are there. More number of women faculty are there, happy. So, but you need to check on what is the number of students we are having. So this is simple. We move on to the next, economically and socially challenged students. So this is again very, very simple. Full tuition fee reimbursed by the institution to pursue their degree programs. So economically weaker, socially challenged, if you say, then again it is a relative metric function it comes into. So again, it is in the hands of the management. You and I as faculty, we will not be able to do great things, but we need to be telling the management that these are the requirements. So I move on to the next. Facilities for physically challenged students. So 20 marks if the institute provides full facilities for physically challenged students. So what do you mean by the full facilities? So these are the questions, and this is how the answer is normally given. So your buildings have lifts and ramps. Yes, 80% of the buildings. Institution have provision for walking aids, wheelchairs, and transportation from one building to another in case it's a very big institution for handicapped students. Yes, institutions have specially designed that is handicapped toilets. Yes, in more than 80% of the buildings. This is how almost all the institutes answer and send. So only when NIRF comes for inspection, then we'll be caught if it is far from the reality. So facilities for physically challenged students, 20 marks. Sorry. So we should ensure that these facilities are available in our institution. Then next thing is last parameter is the fifth parameter, perception. So ranking weight is 0.1, that is 10%. So again, 100 marks, but overall, when you take it is 10%. So peer perception is with regard to employers and academic peers. So you need to be very, very careful with regard to this, because this will be done through a survey conducted over a large category of employers, including professionals from reputed organizations, and also large category of academics to ascertain their preference for graduates from different institutions. So they will be contacting a large number of corporates. They will be contacting a large number of known professionals, as well as reputed institutions like IITs, triple ITs, NITs, NIT. So all these things about the name and fame of a particular institution. So you need to be maintaining a crucial relationship with all the people. So you need to be having your name at the top of the mind, recall for all the people. So employers, top, as well as local companies, not only top, even the local companies, the HR managers, they will be contacting and will be taking a feedback about the institute. Then the professionals will be contacted, IIT people, NIT people, and reputed institutions of eminence, institutions of eminence people will be contacted, and the ranking will be given by them about your institute. So the key is maintaining a healthy contact with all the people so that your name is recognized. You invite them for some seminars, conferences, or anything. Not necessarily because for the money or anything, but your name should be there. That is, as an institution, you are doing certain activities. So wherever it is possible, you need to be. You have in an average college, so many annual events are there. Graduation days, their culturals, sports day, annual day. Apart from the college being hosting any national or international conferences, seminars, etc. So you need to be extending invitation to all these people, and you need to be doing this, right? So by this way, you will be able to increase your visibility, and your institution name will be so there at the top of their mind, so that when the peer perception, the ranking is given, they will be able to recognize your institution and give the ranking accordingly. So this is what I told you. Okay, now NIRF activity calendar. So the data capturing system normally starts somewhere in November and goes on till January. So publications, citations, and patents. So you need to they integrate in the month of February and March. Feedback normally between 27th to 5th March. Data verification and correction, if any, will be carried out before May. Perception normally is done in March, that is right now, and the release of ranking is normally in June. So this is with regard to 2023. I had given this activity calendar, and every year minor variation will be there, but more or less it will be the same. So you need to be understanding this activity calendar, and when you need to be submitting your data, when they will be asking for clarification, if any, and all these related aspects. So now, having discussed about this, this is a basic thing. So how to improve your institutions NIRF ranking? So you need to be taking small steps to do this. So academic excellence and research output. So enhance the quality and relevance of academic programs. Basic thing is they align with industry needs, and you need to foster a research-oriented culture. Second thing is infrastructure and facilities. You need to modernize and upgrade your infrastructure, including classrooms, laboratories, libraries, sports facilities also. In case you are having a hostel, then accommodation for students, all of these. Then you need to foster a student-centric approach. So student-centric approach is basically through effective teaching methodologies. Your mentorship programs should work very well. Your counseling services and career guidance should be top-notch. That is what is called as a student-centric approach. Then faculty development and quality. So you need to invest in FDPs, like what is being presently happening. So faculty development programs, workshops, seminars, international collaborations, etc., etc. Then industry collaborations and placements. You need to be strengthening your relationships with industries. You need to have some MOUs to facilitate internships, placements, I should say collaborative research initiatives, all these things. Of course, innovation and entrepreneurship, promote an entrepreneurial culture, and sustainable practices and social responsibility. Sustainable practices and social responsibility, what I should say is integrate sustainable and environmental friendly practices so that the community service and outreach programs are happening, and compliance with accreditation standards. So always you aim for high and maintain the relevant accreditations and certifications. Data transparency and reporting is of crucial importance, adhering to the guidelines and providing transparent information. And the final one is the stakeholder engagement. All stakeholders, including the alumni, in the growth and development of the institution is very, very crucial and important. Sorry. So with regard to this, coming to the conclusion, so basic thing is transparency and objectivity. So NIRF rankings are founded on a transparent and objective methodology. The frameworks, criteria, and parameters are publicly available. That is what I told you. So if you go to the NIRF website, 2023 rankings, any institution which has received the ranking and what parameters, what marks has been given is readily available. So it ensures a transparency in the evaluation process. And the continuous evolution. Continuous evolution is it undergoes periodic revisions and refinements to ensure relevance and alignment with whatever educational needs that may arise. Then it is a catalyst for improvement, and definitely NIRF rankings act as a catalyst for institutional improvement. So by recognizing areas for improvement or what we call it as areas for enhancement, the institutions are motivated to focus on the drawbacks and work towards enhancement, whatever aspects, teaching methodology, research, infrastructure, whatever we have seen. And the final one is the informed decision making. So it empowers stakeholders, including students and parents, with comprehensive data and insights so that they will be able to make informed decision. So this is with regard to the top 30 engineering colleges. Just wanted to share, I'll just take a 2 minutes more time and I'll then close. So this is already available in the public domain. So rank 1, 2, 3, 4, the end it is there. So top, I'm just taking engineering colleges. So all said and done, certain people have certain questions about the NIRF ranking and methodology. So towards that effect, I'm just sharing this. So not to be mistaken, just as a reflection of the thought process when I was discussing with my peers and colleagues. And you see, this is the next 11 to 20. At 11, Vellore Institute of Technology figures in. If you see in the first 10, so Jadavpur University comes in the 10, otherwise it is all IIT and NIT Tiruchirappalli is number 9. VIT comes under number 11. Anna University is coming number 13. And of course, all the other things are there. And if you see SRM is coming on number 28, the popular things that we are aware of. BITS Pilani is coming under 25. So these are the top 30. Now, my question is, where are the triple IITs in the top 30? So in the top 30 engineering colleges 2023 rankings, triple ITs are not even figuring in the top 30. So can we say that they are not doing better? Or what is the issue and the problem? It is a reflection. The answer we do not have, but it is just a question that is being arised. Then if you take the placement, if you see top placement rank in terms of the median salary. So NIRF rank is 55, placement rank is 1. NIRF rank is 89, placement rank is 2 based on the median salary being given. So then the basic question comes, can I rely on NIRF ranking? So if I want higher salary, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad is 89 rank. But in terms of the placement, it is second rank, 28 lakhs, the average median salary, not average, median salary. So what it is? So what does it convey? So these are some of the questions and anomalies that are prevailing in NIRF ranking methodology. And I hope that the concerned officials would be able to come out and give a clear-cut explanation as regards what is the issue and the problem. And maybe I would say that there's not a problem, but we need to understand it better. The basic thing is number of students increases, the median salary will be low. So it also depends on the total number of students graduating in a particular institute. Maybe some of the institutes are having less number of students and they are able to project a better median salary. So that is why the placement rank they are figuring, but in other aspects they are less than in the NIRF ranking. So certain things will be like this. We need a deeper and sound understanding before we go into this of any sort of assumptions. Just wanted to sensitize you people on the NIRF ranking methodology and framework. It is a very systematic aspect, but yet you may find certain differences or concerns like these cropping up, and we need to understand it better. We need to dwell deep into it before making a final decision. So I stop here and I thank all of you for a very patient listening. And I hope I have clarified the NIRF methodology and given you a framework and a roadmap to focus on what areas and how you can increase your NIRF rankings and the application process. Once again, I thank the concerned authorities of Avicii College, as well as my good friend, Dr. Agustin, for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you. Thank you so much. Any questions? Definitely I'll be able to, I'll try and answer those questions because I don't want to give any upfront guarantee. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. There is a question from Agarnagal. Who publishes NIRF rankings? That is the only question has been came. So is there any question from the faculty side? Who publishes NIRF ranking?
So it is the central ministry which publishes the NIRF ranking. So Ministry of Education, it comes directly under the purview of the Ministry of Education, and they take up and they publish the NIRF rankings.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Please.
I'm Dr. Bhuma. Yes,
Please,
will there be any criteria overlapping on the accreditation and the NIRF? In the sense, the weightage for the faculty members, like you said, seniors and average and also juniors.
Yes.
Likewise, but I think the same weightage is given in accreditation also, or in a different way. Likewise, is there any other criteria which will be overlapping with, not coinciding? I mean, it will not go. It will not be the same.
No, in
with respect to
accreditation,
both
so
the
much of detailing is not
NIRF
there,
and accreditation.
but the scoring pattern will be slightly different. Yes, there will be slight differences between these two. Your question is very valid. There will be slight differences, but in NIRF, since it's a ranking, the very detailing has been given. As far as the accreditation is concerned, it will be a slightly different one, madam.
Okay, so what I was what I meant was, like, suppose in case we have to take into consideration, accreditation is only for 5 years, I understand, but the 5 years category will be like all together. NRF will be every year, isn't it? So in that particular year, if you are not going to concentrate on one point which is relevant to accreditation, will it affect the accreditation in the future? That confusion will not take place, because is there any confusion related to that?
So there is no confusion. If you see NIRF also, though ranking is done on an annual basis, data is fed for the past 3 years. So they ensure that the consistency in terms of entering the data is being maintained. So that is where, if we say that economically backward students are there, and we say that we have more number of fees or anything coming in, then it will be a contradiction and it will be found out. In the accreditation, the assessment will be done only after the 5-year period, whereas this is a constant one. Every year we'll be having the past 2 years data being fed in. So any sort of discrepancy, or when we are trying to be very smart, it can be easily identified, unless and otherwise we are very, very smart. And sorry, one more. I think I made a mistake when I said the Central Ministry of Education NIRF ranking is actually by UGC. So University Grants Commission has developed this, and they have a committee which looks into the rankings, the data collected, and then they decide the ranking.
So one more question, like from Prakash from Avicii College, our college. Sir has asked, what is the minimum eligibility criteria for an arts and science college to go for NIRF ranking?
Minimum eligibility criteria. So minimum eligibility criteria is you need to be having at least some, if I remember right, number of years, I think 2 batches, I think should have passed out, because the enrollments and the passing out, because there are so many parameters. If start of the college will not be able to fill in all the data. So if I remember right, I'm sorry, I'm not able to recall. If I remember right, that you should have 2 batches passed out, so that you will be able to enter the data. That has to be verified. I'm very sorry that I don't have a clear picture right now.
That's no issue, sir. Might be same like in accreditation. Thank you, sir.
So good evening, sir. Another question from Subhashini ma'am. Can you give the NRF ranking for Arts and Science College? That was the question from Subhashini ma'am.
Sorry, come again. What is the question?
Can you give the NRF ranking for Arts and Science College? So this is a question from her.
Ranking for Arts and Science colleges.
Yes, sir.
That is there in NIRF website itself. and the different categories, the colleges, it is there, we can take it from there itself. 2023 rankings. So in fact, all the data are available right from 2016 onwards. It is there. So right from the word go, when they started, it is all available in NIRF website year on year. What is if you want to do a research, you want to make a comparison. If suppose you take IIT Madras has been ranked in 2016 where, 2017 where, everything is available in NIRF website. So one can take the data right away from there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. It was like we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your insightful contributions on NIRF, and your expertise and engaging presentation greatly enriched the session, sir. I hope it creates a lasting impact on both faculty and participants. Especially personally, when our principal ma'am and Augustine sir suggested NIRF, I was little hesitant because I thought it was a dry subject. But the session was most engaging and informative, and it was so simple, and it is it is easy to understand and follow. I think the other participant will also accept me. So once again, I want to thank you for your invaluable time you spent with us, sir. And I take this opportunity to thank our Augustine sir for his guidance also. So thank you very much, sir. And as our principal ma'am said,
Thank you so much.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, and I asked the participants also to fill the feedback form, and we also expect you to come tomorrow also. And it is one more like this. It is going to be one more engaging day. It is artificial intelligence in education. So I wish everybody will join by 7 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you, Srikanth, sir.
Thank you so much. Definitely, AI is of an interest topic to me also. So definitely, I'll join tomorrow.
Sure, sir. You're always
once again thanking all the authorities in the institution and my good friend Augustine for giving me an opportunity. And I hope the purpose has been fulfilled as organizers, and people who have joined were able to understand and discover and make it simple, the NIRF process. Thank you so much.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
It's a
very
very
much, sir. Thank
useful
you.
session. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, Martin, sir.
Thank you, Nixon, sir.